Well, welcome to this week's show for Drawn to Whitetails. I'm Drew Ramage. Got several topics I want to touch on this week, and then we're going to join Nick Stuber on a turkey hunt. Something that I had done about 3 weeks ago to try to prepare me for turkey season was put out my covert trail cameras, but unfortunately I was never able to check them. Either scheduling or weather or whatever it might have been, I was never be able to get out there and check them. Well, I checked them this past weekend as I was afield, and I noticed 2 or 3 trends from that, and I wanted to share the information with you because it could be beneficial to you. First and foremost, I had one on an old scrape that was heavily utilized this past fall. It wasn't just a spur of the moment scrape, it was one like a community scrape pretty much. And I noticed that the does and the deer that were frequenting this area are still utilizing that licking branch. Some of them would just be licking on the branch, other of them would be standing on their hind legs, rubbing all up on it. But deer are very social creatures. They like to keep tabs on each other. And almost any time these deer move through this area, they're utilizing that branch. If you've got an area like that on your farm that you know is like a community scrape or community area, put your camera up there and keep tabs on the deer. It'll help you maybe this fall find those bucks as they start coming into the area during the rut or pre-rut. Second thing is there are a lot of predators on these cameras. Morning, during the day, evening, nighttime, they were all over the cameras. And there are lots of coyotes. Had a couple pictures of bobcats. And then you had some other predators to the turkeys like skunks, possums, and coons. But I don't know what your state's rules are for hunting coyotes or predators, but I'm going to leave that up to you. There's a lot of debate on if it's okay to shoot coyotes during the springtime because they're going to be raising their pups and stuff. It is applicable in Kentucky. You can hunt them all year long. I know other states try to protect them. Again, I'll leave that up to you and your preference, but I just noticed there's a lot of predators utilizing the areas that I have my trail cameras right now. One other thing I want to touch on before the hunt, and that was what Dale Wilson and I experienced opening day of turkey season. We were walking from one blind to the other, and we came across a deer head that was stuck in a tree. This young buck had been evidently trying to make a scrape, and he had got his antlers stuck on a decent sized limb, and unfortunately he couldn't get loose, and he expired. I'd never seen that before. I've always seen videos of it, but never truly experienced that before. Mother Nature can be cruel at times, and unfortunately this is one of those occasions. But stating that, I was walking on another piece of property. I was able to find another skull with the antlers attached, unfortunately. And I believe a couple other pro staff have found several sheds as they're walking around the woods turkey hunting. It's really green outside, and this the white of the antlers really pops. So if you're hunting or walking through the woods, keep an eye out for those as they can stand out. It could give you an idea of what you don't have to hunt in the fall, or it also could tell you maybe the wintering area of a buck that can help you maybe pattern him late in the season, this fall, winter, and the years to come. Well, those are the tidbits I had to share with you from some observations I'd made on the trail cameras and just walking around. Now let's go ahead and jump into the hunt with Nick Stuber. There's a midday hunt, and let's just see how that unfolds. Stay with me at the end. I'll do a recap and also share the trends I'm seeing on turkey behavior going into the opening weekend of turkey season. We're here for a midday hunt. It's what, 1:30?
Yeah, it's close to 2.
Close to 2, I think. Yeah, but anyway, Dale and I just climbed out of the blind down at our lease and about 12:45, so it's however long it took me to get here. But anyway, Nick had a great experience this morning, birds everywhere. So I drove by, and he was on one side of the farm, and I could see the other side, and he didn't have any birds on his side but he had a blind for the wasps that he was taking care of. But I drove by and I saw several birds out at the edge of this field. So we're getting ready to slip in here and see if we can call one of these birds up. So let's just see if we can make one of them work midday. Let's walk over here and see if we can locate them, see if we can call them in. Is he coming? I got him on video. Can't tell if he got hit his gobbler again. I think he did. I'm trying to watch his head.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming. I don't know if he's gonna leave that other bird down there or not. Oh man, he's pretty. I'm gonna say, we call him that far. Pretty dang awesome. Remember what that one did to us last year? That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to get out there about 60 yards. You may have a hen right there next to the tree line. Yeah. Takes a little while for that sound to get down there. He's feeding. Alright, heads up, heads up, heads up. Closer. He'd come up that hill and he'd probably shoot him. I can't see him. Maybe a hen up there that we don't see. Alright. Shoot him if you can. Shoot him if you can. Stuff. Get an opportunity to shoot him. He may come up there too on us. Yeah, he may come right out there in front of us too. He's coming, he's coming. Stay still. Shoot him if you get up to it. Did you? Because I can't tell. I jumped. Oh man. Hey. Hey. Hey.
I was able to come help Nick harvest a bird this afternoon. He hunted over here by himself this morning, and I was hunting with Dale Wilson, and he saw all kinds of birds this morning. But he passed on jakes. He had 3 jakes come into his setup, and he decided to pass on them. He saw several other birds. He sat behind the blind, and he was coming down here this afternoon to spray that blind with some off or some wasp killer. And I was actually coming back from my morning hunt about 2 o'clock this afternoon and was passing the other side of the farm, and I saw like 5 birds out there. Couldn't tell if they were hens or toms or what, because I passed pretty quick, but I knew that there were several birds on that side of the farm. So I called him and said, well, come back and meet me at the truck. Let's go see if we can hunt that side. And this bird came from
probably 400 or
500 yards
500
away.
yards away.
Yeah. And he, I mean, it's very slowly. He didn't just come running.
Took a long time, long waiting game.
We don't think he really got, he may have gobbled when he was down in the bottom, but he did not gobble when he came close. But anyway, he finally came up there close to us, and then he hung up about 70 yards, and he went in the woods, and I was losing battery life on the camera, so I don't know how much of it I caught. I didn't have an extra battery with me, so I was trying to conserve it. But he went in the woods. The next thing we know, he popped back out.
He came back out.
And then he started acting a little funny. I mean, we weren't calling to him. We were trying to let the curiosity game play out. And all of a sudden, he just started blowing up. and strutting and drumming. And he got on the opposite side of the tree that I could hunt or I could see. So I'd take the camera off the tripod. And when I did that, you probably saw from the shot that I probably got off the bird. But the reason he had to shoot so quick is there was a hen that automatically just appeared. We don't know where she came from. We didn't see her. We didn't hear her. And she kind of picked us off. So then he had to shoot, and I couldn't get as stable as I'd like. But anyway, he made a great shot on the bird. So
That's right.
congrats.
3 years in a row. I just needed my cameraman. That's all I needed.
Hey, I'm glad to film. I enjoy filming. It's just as much for me killing this bird as filming it, because I got to enjoy the hunt.
It's fun.
Yep. Well, I hope you enjoyed that hunt with Nick. I was glad I was able to spot those birds as I was driving by, and we were able to capitalize on that. It was a little shaky there with the camera battery going down and me having to get it off the tripod because of all the foliage in front of me, but nevertheless, it took a while to get that bird, but he stayed patient, or we stayed patient, and were able to get that bird on the ground. One of the trends we saw during the opening weekend of turkey season is these birds are really henned up. Dale Wilson and I and Tony and Noah all were kind of in the same area with these 3 toms. They flew down, and we thought we were in the game until we saw they had 2 hens with them. But no matter how much calling we did, they never did respond to our calling. They followed those hens wherever they wanted to go, and they eventually worked by Tony and Noah and did the same thing. They followed the hens, but they would never come check our setups out. Notice a lot of the gobbling has stopped around 7 o'clock each morning. That means they all have their hens at that point, and they have no need to gobble and call in more hens. So hopefully with season progressing, these hens will be going to nest, and these birds will become more responsive to the calling as the season goes on. Well, again, we hope you enjoyed this week's show of Drawn to Whitetails. Hope to bring you some more turkey hunts and maybe some more tidbits of deer information next week. And as we always say at the end of each show, the season never ends. Thanks for joining us.